Hey everybody, it's Nikki with Delicate Tension Tarot. This is going to be a reading for the sign of Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or if you just have a lot of influential Libra placements in your chart or interesting transits happening for you in Libra that are affecting you at this time. This will be for the energies surrounding November 1st through the 15th. We do have Mercury going retrograde in Scorpio October 31st through the 19th of November. I have been saying the 16th. Couldn't tell you why. Just, it happens. That will be a very important time period for us to review certain things that we need to let go of in order to fully move forward in 2020. We are entering a new 10-year karmic cycle as soon as we cross over into that decade. So I feel like it's very important. I actually remember starting to make jokes around the age of 17 or 18 where I called the year 2020 the year of perfect vision. Totally a corny joke, but I actually think I was onto something. I think that this is the decade where we do have that kind of vision. I do think that we have the ability to bring those things into reality and really create from a very solid space of being very clear about what we want and how to make it happen. As always, keep in mind this is a general reading. It's not going to resonate with everybody. If this does not resonate with you, feel free to check your Moon, Rising, Venus, or reverting back to the beginning, if you have any other important placements that you know of in your chart that you usually feel strongly affected by. So let me just take a minute and tap into what it is that I see or feel for you. Oh my God. Okay. Well, first, it's that song, Do I Ever Cross Your Mind? I honestly cannot remember who sings it. That is typical of me. I don't know if it was Brian McKnight or who it was, but I'm sure some of you know the song out there. That's the first song that just entered into my head. Let me back up though, because that seemed very specific. Let me back up. And let me see what visual I get surrounding this reading. I just actually like heavily twitched and kind of had a weird knee-jerk reaction. Try to not have any knee-jerk reactions at this time. I think that you might be in a space where you could easily be triggered by the things that are happening around you or things that are being said. So just keep that in mind. This is really weird. They're not letting me see anything. Those felt like the two most important things to come through. So that's interesting. Show me what's happening for Libra. Oh. Okay. So we have the, maybe that's why I can't see anything, because you can't see anything either. So Eight of Swords, the Hermit reversed, Justice reversed. Let's say hypothetically, because the Eight of Swords usually is about someone trapping you or putting you in the position you are currently in. It could have been with their words. Their words have now created thoughts that are kind of keeping you inside of some form of a mental prison. You might feel bound to the situation or bound by this individual to where you feel as if you can't move. That is not true. The Eight of Swords to me is a situation where you have a path forward if you were just to move, even if you can't see where you were going. If you were to just take a step forward or even take a step back, you would be able to be free of the situation. Or if you leaned against one of these swords, you could easily cut yourself free. But you're so paralyzed by fear that you're not moving. I suggest you move forward. Now, with the Hermit in reverse and Justice in reverse, it is quite possible that you either feel as if justice has not served you or ruled in your favor, and because of that, you're not taking the time that you need to review the situation in a way where you can glean wisdom from it. I do think that justice is still working in your favor. I actually have a feeling that justice will come up again in this reading. I just think that you can't see it, and because you can't see it, you do not believe. I think that is something you also need to be reviewing at this time. Just because you can't see something doesn't mean that it's not working in your favor, and does not mean that it's not actually there or happening. And I think that that is what is testing you at this time. I think that is actually probably the greatest test that you will be reviewing during this time period, is the concept of faith. Whatever that faith is, now I'm getting crazy ringing in my ear. Whatever that faith is for you, doesn't matter what your spiritual or religious belief is. It simply is believing in something that cannot be explained or cannot be seen. Whoa, okay. That shot out pretty far across the room, so I feel like this is something that is very far removed from you. We have the Five of Cups energy. Over here we have the Four of Cups in reverse. We have the Queen of Pentacles over here. And we have the Ten of Wands in reverse. And we have the Ten of Cups in reverse on the bottom of the deck. Okay, so I really want you to consider something here. It was really interesting because at the beginning when I saw these cards, I felt like these cards were mirroring your mental state. I feel like this is mirroring energy for you, but I also feel like this is mirroring energy for you. Even though the cards aren't the same, I feel like the message is the same. There is someone who could be at a distance from you who is grieving the loss of a, could have been Queen of Pentacles woman, so that could be wife, that could be mother. It could also be somebody within the sign of Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. Now, they are mourning over the concept of something that involves third-party energy. Third-party energy can be anything. It can be actual people, or it could just be somebody choosing something other than them that they have placed more emotional value upon. Now, in your energy over here, we have the Four of Cups in reverse, and we have the Ten of Wands in reverse. That being said, both of these cards, when they're in reverse, they're blockages to moving into the next stage. And they're reverting back to the stage prior before the card, in my opinion. So With the Four of Cups in reverse, you're reverting back into Three of Cups energy. With the Ten of Wands in reverse, you're reverting back into Nine of Wands energy. It is a very defensive, protective energy. It also could be energy in which you are ignoring the issue, like the core issue. It could also be reminiscing over the concept of feeling as if everybody either has it better than you and that you don't have a reason to celebrate, or you could also have alcohol consumption issues. When I say issues, it just means that maybe you drink to deal with things, or maybe you drink to take the edge off and you actually don't realize that it becomes more of a problem. It becomes a problem. I'll just say that. Now, with the Four of Cups energy, you're ruminating on someone not taking your offer. And essentially this person is ruminating on the same thing. You're mirroring each other's energy. But instead of dropping the burden and instead of carrying the weight, it's reverting back into protective or defensive energy. And it's actually blocking you from your new beginning, and it's blocking you from your happiness. Clarify the Eight of Swords here, please. We have Judgment. You could, okay. I think a part of the Eight of Swords is that with Judgment and the Page of Pentacles, in your mind, it was this thing of that was the last offer. It was the last offer or opportunity for a second chance in your mind. And then we have the Nine of Wands right there. So you're staying stuck, as I said, in this Nine of Wands energy. Very defensive, very protective. You could have been very protective or defensive while you were initiating this offer. Let's clarify the Hermit in reverse. The Nine of Cups in reverse. Let's clarify Justice in reverse. The Ten of Wands in reverse. Okay. This is perfectly describing the energy I was speaking of earlier. Now, with the Hermit reverse and the Nine of Cups reverse, you're not gleaming the wisdom of, as I said, just because you can't see something doesn't mean it's not happening, and it doesn't mean it's not working in your favor. It might not be working in your favor in the way that you expect it to, but that's the thing. With wish fulfillment, you can't have expectations, or you shouldn't. Your wish is getting fulfilled in a way that you can't possibly imagine, or it's trying to, but you're really holding it hostage. I don't think you're allowing it to really blossom into its full potential. Just because you cannot see something doesn't mean that you need to maintain this defensive and protective behavior around yourself. Having faith is being vulnerable. Having faith is trusting and believing that something's coming your way, and nothing can come your way if you're blocking it out. Let's clarify the Four of Cups in reverse. We have the Moon. Yeah, so that definitely could deal with fantasy, illusion. It could also deal with substances. It is very confusing energy. It's energy that just doesn't, you can't see. You can't see right now, but you're not supposed to see. Just like in the beginning, I felt like I couldn't see. They wouldn't let me see anything. There is a reason why. Yeah, this person is dealing with very, very toxic energy, toxic people. They could be, whatever the situation was, is a very strong karmic situation. This is supposed to teach them a major lesson, and it is a lesson that you do not need to be a part of. I used to totally get pissed off when they would say it, but when people would say that rejection is the universe's protection, I actually believe it. Now I believe it. Sometimes it takes years for me to see why, but I think you need to understand that you are being protected by not being a part of this energy. If you were a part of this energy, it is of such a low and unhealthy vibration that you would get pulled down with it. Let's clarify the Queen of Pentacles. We have the Fool. This individual, whoever is connected to this person, they took a leap of faith in a different direction. They needed something new in their life, and they needed to escape whatever this energy was. Now, this person could have even taken a leap of faith towards them and realized that they ended up in a similar toxic situation once again. I don't think that they see it for what it is right now, because it still is in the upright. So they're still under the illusion that it is something that controls them, or that it's something they have no control over. Let's clarify the Ten of Wands in reverse. We have the King of Wands and we have the Five of Cups in reverse. I feel like there is a part of your soul that is trying so hard. It could even be another person who's doing this. But it's this energy of get up and move. Stop crying over or mourning over or essentially giving so much of your energy to something that in the long run is nowhere near as big as you imagine it to be, especially with the fact that you have 2 cups behind you. There's something waiting for you over the horizon if you just get up and move. If you just take action and take control of your life, you can get out of this. It's so easy to get out of this energy. But the core issue here is your resistance to getting out of the energy. I think another part of the core issue of this with the Ten of Cups in reverse is at the bottom of the deck is the idea, the concept that you can't be happy. You will never be happy. You will never have what you dream of, and you will. I think with the Two of Swords in reverse and the Six of Cups, there has been a strong choice that's been made regarding this prior relationship or this relationship from the past or soulmate relationship, whatever you want to call it. I think the decision has been made, and I think the past needs to be left in the past, and I think it needs to be a memory. For now, I think that's what it needs to be. The energy, the potential that is over here versus what is actually happening over here, I would not want that in my life. I would not want that in my life. And I think you need to be very, very happy that you are being protected from having that in your life. Can't see it now, but you will. We have Forest. Yep, time to purge. Okay, I think it's time for you to jump into your Hermit energy. I think it's time to go in the forest. And I think it's time to purge this energy. It's time to purge it, and it's time to take a long look in the mirror and really see where you're at and really see what it is that you do to yourself and really see how it is that you are blocking yourself from this potential. Because a lot of this energy is self-imposed. It's really weird. What I'm kind of getting in my head right now is to explain this about this energy being self-imposed. This might sound stupid, but it's the way it's being relayed to me. It's almost as if Let's say somebody handed you a knife. Or, you know what, we'll use the really old adage. If your friends told you to jump off of a bridge, would you? Just because they were doing it. I feel like it's that way with whatever is happening in this situation of this self-imposed energy. It's almost like you jumped off the bridge, you suffered said consequences of jumping off the bridge, and then you're upset and you're like, but they told me to. They were doing it, they told me to. And you have your parents looking at you like you're nuts, and you're just like, are you fucking serious right now? You know better. You're smarter than that. Did you feel like what you were doing is wrong? That's what the energy feels like. We have the crone. We have the seed. And we have the mentor. You could be either meeting a mentor, or you could be becoming one or stepping into that role. I think it is a role that you are strongly resisting, and I think that's why you have not experienced this massive and major death or purging process, because it's still something that you feel as if you're not ready for, but you are. There is this seed that is being planted in your life that is trying so hard and struggling to grow. And if you were to just let all of this other stuff fall away, I think the way you would take off would be beautiful. I mean, the crone energy is such potent, ancient wisdom. It is someone who has seen a lot. And it is wisdom that honestly cannot be challenged or questioned. And I really do think that either someone is trying to merge with you in life like this, or someone is trying to help you become this, and you're still resisting it. But it's almost like if you were to take it on, that's where your happiness would lie. It would open up this path where you would receive all this stuff that you've been asking and waiting for. But it's almost like in your resistance, in your rejection of faith, in your rejection of belief, you have left yourself in suspended animation. You've trapped yourself. So let yourself go. You are the one who has yourself in hostage right now. You can let yourself go.